Hey, I'm Gabriel Dirksen from La Crosse, Kansas, and I'm doing my Module 5, Understanding My Community. I did the NELP standard, NS 5-5 3B. The school leader will gather information about the policy and district content. I did the ISTE standard 4B, ensure that resources for supporting the effective use of technology for learning are sufficient and scalable to meet future demands. Sociological inventory. I am teaching in La Crosse, Kansas. I'm on my 6th year. We are a rural community. We have small business owners and farmers for the large part, but the bigger businesses we have would be our banks. We have 4 banks in town, and they are all chain banks. And then we have KBK, who's a fiberglass tank manufacturer who draws a lot of business for us. We have a furniture factory, and those would be just laborer workers for minimum wage, but that's a lot of my students' parents work for the furniture factory. And then we have Golden Belt Telephone, and they are a television provider, and they are a big business, and I have a lot of parents who work for them, and that brings some diversity in income in that way. The dynamic difference in income from household to household is huge in La Crosse. We have a low diversity in community as racially, but we have a large diversity economically. We have a large Catholic community, and then in the school itself, we have 2 buildings, a junior high and a high school, and then we have an elementary school. We have a young teaching staff here. The majority of us are around 5 years of teaching, and then we have a few 3 teachers who have been here for 15 years or more. We have a large school district area that our kids come from, about 15 miles west, 15 miles southwest, and 15 miles north. We don't go east very far because we got our Otis Bison right next to us. But we do have kids driving from a long ways away to get here. We are a small 1A school. In La Crosse, we have school pride. We are a leopard family. They are preached that from the time they get here to the time they leave. And the teachers know that we are a leopard family and that we all get along and we're all one. We are an involved community. We have the Rush County Fair. It's a free fair that the business organizations help get involved and put on. We have a St. Patrick's Day parade in Rush Center. We have state send-offs that the community knows about, and we just send off our cross-country team to state on Friday. Make a Difference Day, the high school participates with the local community, and they volunteer their time at different business organizations that want to participate. We have a homecoming parade, and all the businesses are involved in that, and they make their floats, and we show our school pride off that way. The churches do a youth group on Wednesday nights, and our sporting events get out early for them. We have a frog after school program for the younger kids, elementary kids, on Wednesday after school, and one of the churches runs our local food bank, and they give out free meals or a free meal packet during the holiday season so that the students on free and reduced lunch can have them that way. Our community struggles with change. We kind of like what we have done in the past, and it is hard to create something new. And so the older community struggles to support the youthfulness of the younger community that is growing here in La Crosse. The population characteristics. Education level of parents differs. It is about a 50-50 split, and some of the parents have degrees, some do not. But for the most part, from what I've known, most of the parents have great and successful jobs. We have plumbers, we have air conditioners, electricians, we have farmers, and then we have bank workers and Golden Belt television employees, and so we have a wide variety, and which makes our town a great place to be. The population of La Crosse is 1,300 people. The average age is 45. I feel like we do have an older community for the 6 years I've been here, but I have noticed our young families are growing. We have more families, more younger guys coming back and females staying in town and starting their relationships here and growing their families here. And the sex of our students or the town in general, I've noticed there are a lot more females, from single moms to more females in our classrooms. One class has 6 males and 13 females in that class, so it's just a weird statistic that it's kind of fun to look at in this assignment. Occupations, the average income is $33,000 per household. We have a low diversity racially, but a large diversity economically, from factory workers to people owning their own businesses and being successful in that avenue. Known communications channels. In La Crosse or USD 395, we have a school website that's actively updated weekly. We have a district texting service, which our AD sends out texts daily of the activities going on in the school. We have a school Twitter account. They update live. Whoever administrator is on duty there, they give sporting updates or fun things our students are doing within our building. Local weekly newspaper for our older community that is sent out every Wednesday by the newspaper, and the elderly really enjoy seeing what's going on in the schools there. A sign in a local park for school activities that people do not have the texting service that is updated weekly, and they can see the activities going on in our school there. We also have a local radio station who covers our sports, and that is 93.5. And then a coffee shop or the gas station in town, there's always some guys drinking coffee there. And then the restaurant is where a lot of news gets shared about what's going on in sports or what's happening within the school. And then we have a Golden Belt TV, and on Channel 3 they show a slideshow of just different events going on throughout the community and the different communities surrounding us, because we are with La Crosse, McCracken, Rush Center, Alexander, and Tacoma are the towns that are mainly our students come from. Known community groups. We have the Knights of Columbus, the church organizations with youth group and Frog. We have a site council who actively try to, which I'm a part of, who actively try to let the community members know what's going on with our school. We have a 4-H club, Boys and Girls Scouts, then athletic groups, just football, volleyball, cheerleading, band, golf, that actively are out in the community raising funds for their organizations. The art group, which is band, choir, and art, and then class organization who mainly help out with concession stands or other class events like Red Wheel to raise money to go towards prom mainly. Known leadership. Our leaderships at the school level are the superintendent and who is the elementary principal. And then we have a high school principal, and then we have the board members who is overall in charge of us, and then we have the experienced teachers who I would look up to if I had questions here at the school and my principal wasn't readily available. And we are a family here. There is 8 teachers here at the school, and I would look up to some of those teachers who have been here a few more years than I have, and we all respect and work well with each other. Community leaders, I have the privilege for working for the city manager in the summer. I mow and weed eat, and so the city manager has been working for 20 years, and he's actively involved in our community. And then active businesses, the Golden Belt Telephone, they do a lot for our sports and our school as a whole. And then the active and experienced parents. I feel like there's parents that lean on the parents that have more children in the school district and who've been around the ropes a few more times. Know the community leaders' characteristics. The principal and the superintendent, they give teachers voice, they share power, and they guide others. I think our principal at the high school, who is on his first year, John Webster, and my principal or superintendent at the elementary school, Bill Keeley, they both do a good job of giving out the power and sharing it and giving the teachers voice to let them know what we want and what would help be more beneficial for our school overall. But they do a great job of getting out of our comfort zone and guiding us into becoming better teachers. The community leaders, the city manager, he's worked for 20 years. He is my boss in the summer, and he works for the future of the community, and he's very involved, and you will see him out daily doing something. We just have a new city mayor. She just got elected, and so she is starting her tenure year, and she is doing what's best for the community. Our business leaders are involved with the school. We have a proud business relationships with our schools in the community. Our bank donates school supplies at the beginning of the year, and Golden Belt, like I said, they help donate generously, and they help our small community be a tight-knitted group. The known economic conditions. Our household income is $33,000. We are 9% below the poverty line. We have 48% of our students on free and reduced lunch, and that's where we are normally at. We have a small businesses, a factory, or agriculture jobs are our main sources of income. And then we have jobs available, and then we have affordable housing. We have quite a few houses for rent. There is not very many middle-class houses available, but they are becoming more affordable. Then we have transportation buses for the elderly who take them to the grocery store or the restaurant or to get their hair cut. We take The tax rate of La Crosse is 8.5%. The land size is only 1.5 square miles, so we are a fairly small town, but we bring in from other communities. Like I said earlier, in our households, we have 578 reported. The known political structure. Our principal and superintendents, they obviously want us to support politicians for education. It is crucial that we make our voice here and let them know that we are wanting somebody that supports education to represent us. And we are obviously funded by state and federal fundings. Obviously, with schools not having a way to make profit, we have to rely on the state for that. We are looking into a bond issue coming up. Our elementary school was built in 1925 and it is still existing. And the classroom sizes are just too small with having 20 kids-ish per class. Our closets, we can't fit all their book bags in there, and they were just built for a different time. And so we are looking at going towards a bond issue in that. We already have a facility committee, and they are meeting, showing the needs that are around our district. Our town can't pass a recreation organization for La Crosse, and to help support our local kids, have a rec league. That's been turned down twice from what I've known. I was not here when it was going on, but that was 7 years ago, and it missed by 10 votes. So there is tension between the community and that. The elderly committee doesn't really support the youthfulness of where our younger community wants to go, but the younger community has to get out there and vote, and that is really the difference between winning and losing in that aspect. The known social tension, which I just talked about, was the major one is just between the younger crowd in La Crosse becoming more present against the older community, and that is the only really strong clique. We know we don't have any gangs or any violence in that manner. There's no major social tension, but there's a few small cliques of teachers who sometimes stir up drama, but we have got that mostly kicked out of here in La Crosse, and we are just a Leopard family that is just working together to better students daily. Some extra sources of information. The board minutes can be found in the paper if you want to know what's actively happening a month in our district. Surveys given out to parents at parent-teacher conferences while they're waiting. They fill those out, and that is a good source of information. And then a packet at local businesses. We're trying to welcome new families and quickly access the new families that are coming to town so we can get them to school as soon as possible. And then our school website calendar. More and more parents are looking to that instead of the hard copy we pass out at the beginning of the year. And so that's where they can find all their needs for school activities. The power structure, leadership pyramid. The Board of Education is in charge, the superintendent, then it's the principal, athletic director, teachers, other faculty, aides, and students. We all have a voice, but we all need to have someone to answer to. So we just make sure we pay attention to the pecking order. Large German community here in La Crosse. We have a Catholic community, many beautiful old churches in Rush County and Ellis County. We have Lent options on the menu, but overall we have a low diversity in the community. All staff reports to the building leader. Principal and superintendent are highly visible and informed. Parents sometimes jump the pecking order. They kind of go straight to the top if they have a problem with a teacher. And then the chain of command is important. Maintain faculty respect. I mean, just report who you're supposed to report to and just try to do the best overall. Measuring public opinion. Local parents support teachers. Teachers have a great report with the parents. Seesaw at the elementary has been helping rapidly. It's at one click of a button away to communicate with your parents. Small town takes a village to raise a child. So we all have to be involved and be visible, and we are all working together to help benefit the child the best we can. And that all the parents should know that, and that's just what I try to reciprocate to them. Public opinion surveys. I believe we could do better at this. We have one public opinion survey a year, and I think we could do more and use it better to our benefit. Sorry, I'm just looking at my time here. And then our plan of improvement is for KISA accreditation. I'm on the board there, the DLT committee, and relationships in the high school. We're going to increase the opportunities for family involvement, not just parent meetings, but have some fun nights where they can come and interact and be involved in our school. And then the responsiveness is our other one we're looking at, and that's to increase the number of students exposed to early childhood learning. We've kind of greatly noticed the kids that attend preschool versus the kids that not. They're already very behind compared to that. And so that is some things we're going to try to improve and help, and that would help our public opinion in our DLT's committee's opinion. So thank you for that, and let me address the community I have here in La Crosse. Thank you very much.